Count the bed.
You see,
On the bed.
you laying us down in front of people, but you mustn't do that, right?
Why, boy?
You might just do the meme. I know black. I know black.
So yeah, been trying to get on for a while. I from Point as well, so
Yeah. You have a bias. Like you know, most point men now. You know, I know point men does be, you understand?
hey,
Oh boy.
those studies are
Point men.
he's a
Once you
pseudo
from
point man, you know. He's a pseudo point man. Those studies.
No, I tell you that, so I understand them. Once you're from point, it's full 100, right?
Seeing that.
So I understand that. And deep down, I kind of admire the love point men, and by extension, so people have each other. It is crossover into bias and thing, but you know,
Now it's starting to lie.
I'm not starting to lie the truth.
Welcome to another episode of the Trifactor podcast.
This podcast is for Trini football pionks and international ones, where we get to discuss all matters of football, both Trini and internationally.
If you are a football fanatic,
This is for you.
if you just stumble upon here by mistake,
Don't worry, God doesn't make mistakes. This is for you.
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Most importantly, give us your feedback for future content that you might be interested in. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing
Tonight we have Dia Hunte on, former football standout, and also doing his thing in the FPL, and we'll have a conversation with him tonight. Good night, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Good night to you guys.
Right. Nice. Nice to finally meet you face to face, so to speak.
within modern standards, yes.
Yeah. So we normally start about football, and they tell us a little bit about your affinity to Liverpool now. When you start back in the club.
It man, it's a Liverpool jersey, just like me. It's a Liverpool jersey
and a bag. Well, I watching Andre, and I said that could be a Trent Andre rocking there.
Not Trent, but it's a Liverpool jersey.
And like Andre, you're a full neutral now, boy.
All out. Tomorrow, I could have a Manchester United one.
Nah, Man U?
Nah, that is one thing I doubt you'll ever do. That
Listen,
kind of thing don't keep you walking. You mightn't see that just so.
The only thing that you might never see me wear, even though I'm a neutral now,
Is that UV?
is a black and white UV.
Right.
I might wear the pink UV because it's fresh dog, it's drip. But the Manchester I have now is the blue.
The blue.
Not the new one. Not the new one. No, remember they used to not blue. That's the blue and white. So remember there was an old version of the current blue and white one?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
From back
With
in
the
the
color,
90s.
with the color?
Yeah, with the color.
Right. Cool scene. Yes, so the Liverpool.
I just like Liverpool from small, actually, from when I was young.
Right.
For the most part, I did get to watch football, I guess I would look at them, and Barnes was kind of a player that attracted me because he was the only guy that kind of looked like me on the team, I believe. At that point in time, Liverpool was pretty much, straight up all the way, Caucasian type players. So, I like the way he used to play. I like that team, something about that team spirit and thing I just like about Liverpool from a young child. And so now I still always kind of just root for Liverpool.
Right. What are your thoughts on Salah? Let me call some bacchanal, some friendly bacchanal here. No, let me call some friendly bacchanal. Let me call some friendly bacchanal.
Right? Let me hear this question here.
Let me call some friendly bacchanal. No, I think Salah is highly underrated. Mendes say money and the level thing. What are your thoughts on Salah in terms of his ranking in best player in the world and thing?
Today?
It's not the bacchanal you was trying to start, but let me go ahead.
These days, the numbers.
You didn't get disagreement much with that, sir. As I recall.
It's kind of hard not to put Salah in the discussion. Because he's been the top scorer in the Premier League, on the top 3 scorers in the Premier League, I think, for at least 5 years now.
Yep.
Breaking all the records at Liverpool. I don't know, boy. I think he won African Player of the Year like twice in this past 5 years too. I think
twice.
Won like twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Winning Champions League, Premier League, World Cup. What else? The Super Cup. They win a lot, so he would be in the conversation because he's kind of leading the charge in terms of his goal scoring, that he brings to the table. So overall, I can't not leave him out of the conversation in the past few years from a consistency standpoint and keeping a high level of this overall play.
All right, so say he's being disingenuous, right?
So pay him the 400,000.
Yeah, pay Salah. Listen, people say Salah is just a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer, and I disagree. There's a lot of things.
No, that's not true.
He's a goal scorer. Because to be a goal scorer, you have to be able to run off the ball plenty. You have to be able to time and run well. You have to be able to have a very good first touch. A lot of things Salah do on the field. Some of the dribbles he has to make. It's not like some other guys will do it, but if you look at him closely, the little feints, the little movements, that extra half a second or second, and in them time, and that is plenty time for especially a guy who have a good left foot.
Yeah.
So Salah has been really, really amazing, to be honest. When he fits, and that's the next thing too, he never really get hurt. When he went that, Gladiator mash him up in the final, but other than that, Salah is a guy as stay, he's stay injury free now. So I think Salah should be definitely looked as as a top player, definitely top 5 player.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Now the Bacchanal will say he was really trying to start, right? The man was saying that Salah has displaced Eto'o as the best African player ever. Let me hear your opinion.
I have never said that.
When we discussed the best African player it had,
my life,
I said Samuel Eto'o I say Salah could be in the conversation, but he's not there yet.
I have never said that, Swadi.
No. Swadi, I think you're mixing up which thing he says. So what
never said that.
What he did say is Salah should be part of the conversation.
Yes.
When he's talking about hold on. When he's talking about GOATs, not Africa, he said when he's talking about greatest of all time and stuff like that, he find how people just talk about Salah is like, nah, you need to do thing, and it's just like, well, why can't he be part of that top 10 conversation, top whatever conversation?
Yeah. I think he underrated.
Nah, and nobody disagrees with that.
They really come from with that Bacchanal, boy.
Yeah, watch that.
You look like the
Let me tell you.
Look like the Sunday, boy.
I say, look, let me leave the salon. Yes, COVID killing people with hypertension.
You look like the Sunday, boy.
Boy,
stop talking about the sun now. In the presence of 2 Liverpool men here now. Hey. All right?
2 Liverpool men, give me back. You look cocky. You look cocky. Andre B.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
Yeah. Now I tell you, don't worry about it. We can knock on the powers on you. Trust me.
You can talk about Trent. Andre, I'll ask you a question for Andre. Andre does say when it has some time when Reese and Trent used to have a convo about them. And you see me a visceral change in Andre's attitude.
I vexed tonight already. Like this podcast done. I vexed. You going back here again? You going back in time?
No. We go back in time. We just talk about Liverpool, man. So when men was saying that Reese was even in the realm of Trent, Andrew used to get real vexed because like me finding numbers for his age was unreal.
But it's not even just numbers. So let me say my piece there, and I just want to see what Dia think. So it's just like we old enough to where when we start watching football wasn't all numbers and things. It wasn't always just numbers, goals and assists. So it have men who their impact on the game. They are, Trini slang, they're causing it, whole game. That's what, when this guy's on the field, he gonna and cause it, period, right?
Yeah.
All right. Trent, and this is what I was trying to tell you before, in my opinion, as a Liverpool man.
Stop it.
All right.
Why are you
but because man, you have so much fans all over the world. because Man U is such a big supported team all over the world, I think a lot of times Man U fans are in the press. Man U fans writing their articles and things like whatever, and they forming opinions where some of it is banter, but the line is getting grainer. So people think it's serious take, but it's really banter. So for me, men is be bantering Trent about, oh, he can't defend. That's not true. When you look at the facts kind of show you, nah, that's not really true. When Trent has been the weakest defensively is when Liverpool had a serious problem in the midfield, where they had no coverage. So it was like he was literally facing one-on-one every single game for like 10 games straight.
Well, no Van Dijk.
Right? Whatever.
Go ahead, sorry.
And no Van Dijk, right?
Yeah.
But then, all right,
Must
when
be
I look at Trent,
Van Dijk first. Come on, let me be real.
when I look at Trent, and this is, all right, now as a former Inter fan, right? I actually put Trent, look, he is better than Maicon was. I'm telling you, he is better than Maicon was in my opinion.
I'm going to take that.
And the only right back that I've seen in my lifetime that was better than him was Dani Alves.
The lie was wondering if he wasn't going to say Dani Alves.
Dani Alves is the only one I've seen.
So you're better than your boy?
Who's my boy?
Javier Zanetti?
Yeah. So, truth be told about Javier Zanetti, okay, he played in a different era of what a right back was. So, when Javier Zanetti, so the Javier Zanetti that does a lot of runs and things like that was when he started being converted to playing midfield and thing too. So, as a right back, Maicon was better than Javier Zanetti as a right back. As a right back, old school right back. So I'm wing back, right back, whatever, right? But old school right back, yeah, Javier Zanetti better defensively and something like that. But that was what the game was. Anyway, the point is, there's a level that Trent is at in terms of causing it every single game. You cannot give him time on the ball. This is left foot or right foot. This is left side or right side. This is in midfield or in the back. This is at the byline or at the top of the box. You cannot give Trent space on the ball anyway on the field, right? And then going on the defensive side. All right, the man is at least equivalent to Marcelo defensively, right?
Yeah.
And nobody was ponging Marcelo for 20 years talking about Marcelo the worst defender I've ever seen.
Barca was ponging Marcelo.
Oh yeah, like bias.
You give him some talk. You give him some talk, but this idea that he's a liability, target Marcelo, like it's not true. The bottom line is Liverpool reached 2 finals in Champions League back to back. Trent playing. That's the bottom line. Anyway, so I do my soliloquy there.
I don't understand.
What's your thoughts on Trent?
Furthermore, I think Trent is definitely the best right back coming out of Liverpool for sure. There's a few guys I would put ahead of Trent. I don't take anything away from him. I don't get sucked into that false narrative that Trent cannot defend, because that's just, to me, it doesn't line up with some of the points you made, because that defense, when playing collectively, which that is defense, everybody needs to do their part. They were one of the toughest teams to score against. So it's not that Trent couldn't play. There were other factors that people probably wouldn't take into consideration. And plus, at the end of the day, debates and stuff, some of this stuff is at least stood on just for arguments in the press, and they just go ahead and say people have biases and they will say stuff because they have their own opinions. But
because they work for the Sun,
for me, I would put the reason why I always say Dani Alves is because of Cafu. So the first player that I had to say from right back standpoint definitely be Cafu. Dani Alves. Now Philip Lam is another one there that he could play
consistency.
And his level and his ability and his engine and his know-how, his longevity is another one too. You just can't really, sidetrack. Now Zanetti is another one. I don't know. I mean, I can't put him. Trent does certain things that these guys can't do in terms of technique. So he can kick the ball. The man has real good vision, the man, right? And the man winning. He has a winner's mentality too. No, it's not like what you're saying is points that should be considered, right? The man could strike the ball with both feet. He dangerous on cross balls, dangerous on corner kicks, dangerous on set pieces. So he's a great asset to have on your team. I think he is in some ways might be underappreciated because maybe he's playing for the wrong, international team. Because
he can't get on the team.
Huh?
He can't get on the England team because of the code.
Well, that's the problem with England is that they actually think because this guy has a good waistcoat or wherever he's wearing, that he really know what he's about. But I'm glad he there because they're not supposed to win anything. But they don't. Coming home, I know you home of football, that's another topic altogether. So anyways, but Trent for me, he come from, there's a few people ahead of him I would put, like the names I called, Alves, Philip Lam, even Zanetti, I would take over Trent. Now, if I could find a way to play a tree and put Trent even in the midfield, he think about Trent, but you could do that with Dani Alves too. He could play
and Lam.
And Lam.
And Lam and Zanetti.
All the men could play like that now, but
Cafu maybe not.
Not necessarily now.
Not the midfield for Cafu, but your whole day is that wing play.
But in fairness,
anyway,
and in fairness to Trent, let's keep in mind that the man is still 23.
23 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, even there's a few top right backs there. Trent really up there.
No doubt.
He can play in terms of his vision and stuff. You ain't finding that regular.
That
be doing that. If he can maintain consistency,
good
he gonna be
but what I keep so all the players they call and things like that, like I didn't even say that Trent thing just like a hot take and I just being dramatic and thing. Like it's just okay, I've watched hold on. But it's just you're watching football how long? And there's the ability to strike the ball the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, you do not see that. Like legit, the man is striking the ball the way Stevie G, Totti, like men they are the creative force of a team, period. He is striking the ball like that anywhere on the field as a right back. It has to count for something very significant. You're not going to see this again.
I agree.
Andre, I don't think
that's why he in the presence of those guys.
What you just say?
I don't think you're gonna take your Trent thing as a hot take, right?
Okay.
We know how you feel about Trent.
We're not fighting here though.
So to talk about maybe you understand. So to talk about Reece James.
Oh, Jesus.
After he played, because at that point in time,
let it go.
Because at that point in time, he didn't even win the spot versus Aspi yet.
Yeah,
he had a little 5-game stretch where he went up.
Let's go.
For men to then say, yeah, Reece is the same.
Let's go, Andre. Let's go.
And Trent can't defend anyway.
But I hear something in the statement they make it's coming home. What international team do you support?
Trinidad.
Trinidad is the right answer. That's the only right answer.
Trinidad. Other than that, I just watch the game because they're entertaining.
Okay.
I might have favor to certain players, but I can't.
Right.
A lot of guys will say as a I don't know, Argentine or as a Frenchman.
Yeah.
You're not hearing not one of those guys from those countries ever saying that. Period.
Listen, so
yeah.
I don't know if
Thank you very much.
Kenan was on our show, right?
Yeah.
And Kenan was cussing about the same, not cussing. But
he was
Kenan was talking about the same thing. How just so much madness, how we quick to say, he's a Brazilian boy and thing.
I bet to ask that question now, boy, because
but you see, when Zwari was saying that same thing, right? Nobody care what I was saying that same thing. Hey,
Zwari, you want the same pips as Cameron Jones, though?
I'm not saying the same pips, right? What I'm saying is, and I'm saying the principle behind it is that I'm just simply glad that I share the same perspective with Mr. Kenvin Jones and also Mr. Dia Hunte, right?
And nobody
So
can
understand
say it's just you being on wireless and thing. I understand.
right?
Yeah.
Playing FIFA and all kind of man. This FIFA 98. I went and
In Brazil.
qualified for the World Cup in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. FIFA 98 had the old boat. First, it had detail in National Stadium in the old boat in Invaders Bay. That was parked up there for years. When the camera was swinging wrong in FIFA 98.
All that?
Yeah.
That's how detailed FIFA.
I need to get back that game, but
Yeah, that was the best FIFA ever.
A man was now talking about it. A man was now talking about it on Twitter how Trinidad had a keeper called Fabian Cool. Was he named?
Nah, he didn't exist.
We had a cool. I think he might be right, you know.
Yeah, no, but
I don't remember that name.
That was a keeper name in the game at least. I don't know if it's a real player.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I can't remember a player like that. It was Clayton inserting that as the bench keeper in that game, right?
To be
And
honest,
I was like, who's Fabian Cool, dog? I don't know this man. Right? They had that like it had Tony Ruffier instead of Anthony Rougier. And it had different corruptions that people
Right.
It wasn't perfect, but you could have figured it out. It had York, yes.
yeah.
You know, right? But it had slight corruptions that people knew now.
I get that game back with it.
Yeah.
At least in 98 they made they tried to do something in other FIFA iterations. It had number 9, number 10, number 36.
FIFA 2002 was scanty. It only had recognized Shaka Islop, Dwight York, and Kenvin Jones. Everybody else was numbers. Right? And I had the game pirated and read only now. So it couldn't save.
Oh, this one you run it too.
But I had the computer plugged in. And just I'm to run it because I couldn't switch off the game, nothing. And
why my current bill so high? I don't know,
mommy. To this day, I still be paid my mom's light bill because of that understanding. I would be wicked not to do that.
All right. So, we could go back to when they started the game. I like to ask these questions.
He has always run for these questions. So you know
what? I relax myself.
No, you didn't relax yourself. You know everybody else will talk everything else but that. So go ahead.
I relax myself, boy. All right, so you wouldn't know, but I know you. So I grew up next to your cousin and them, the McCrees. I grew up right next to them. I went Benedicts. Everybody used to talk about you. I never really get to see you play, but everybody used to talk about you. Then I end up playing against your brother in the indoor sometimes. They say, you don't know Max? I say, I already know him, but, men say, yeah, thing, right? So this is my favorite part where I get to bring all these broken memories together. So when you was growing up in Point Fortin, when did you fall in love with the game? Who introduced you to the game?
Good question, but I think that just came naturally, by it just sports. I still frequent. I grew up in teachers, so my mom used to play netball, so I'll be up on the court for my uncle, and they heavy into sports, so I'll be around sporting events a lot. So from small, just being always exposed. At that time when we growing up too, everything was outside, so everybody playing outside and all that. So you grow up seeing a sweat. Grow up seeing football. Grow up hearing about it because it's talked about a lot. Because in Point Fortin, as you know, football is huge. Football is big. So people always talking about football, watching football. That's something that used to bring the community together. So a lot of times when they have football, everybody coming out now. So from small, I always, like football. I play other sports, but football was just the sport that, that's attracted me the most.
The first team that they released, Liverpool most likely. I say John Barnes. I don't want to answer your question for you.
Yeah.
You said it before, so I don't want to ask it again. Like in natural abilities, before you actually get some coaching, what is your natural abilities?
I think I'd probably a lot of natural ability in terms of being shifty, learning how to evade my opponent and stuff like that, not from just, playing, catch and, they're playing all that stuff in private.
Rescue.
And then, running
Key
on.
foundational game.
Yeah, so, zigzagging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then starting to play football, kind of was able to, mesh that and become really evasive and just really focus on learning how to, dribble opponents or get around, be creative now. So that is probably before, because at that time, there's some PE teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just throwing the ball, he's just running and kicking and they trying to hold it and just kicking the ball over the place and running around with the ball. So by the time it's to get coaching, it's about, hey, stop, pass, stop here, run there. Now you have to realize, wait, now I have to think too, I'm not just playing anymore. Now I have to think and understand what the coach wants me to do and start to work on different things. So that would have started early, like in, RC school.
Right.
RC school time, we started, playing serious football by them and under 9, under 10, under 11. I don't want to play, man. Playing how you playing EC school and Ashja and Capiville and, you play in all them schools there in South. And then if you do well enough, you get to play their zonal. You get to, play the Palo and them. And sometimes if you're good enough, you get picked on the South team. So coaching start from RC school time.
Yeah.
RC school going to Benedicts, so we had to be ready because there is, always such a time to play, and you had to study, So that is somebody who's always kind of balanced with that. So,
but for some reason, well, I think all over Trinidad, the primary school league was discontinued. I don't know if that. Most likely, it took a negative hit on Trinidad football. So I don't think I played anybody. I don't think anybody in my age group played under 9 and things like that, which is probably unfortunate. So the first bit of structured football was in RC school, or was it in civic or anything like that? What was it?
Yeah, primary school football.
Primary school football.
Yeah.
First position.
I've always like attacking forward or midfield, right midfield, attacking midfield.
We used to model yourself after.
At that age, really nobody. When I was really young, just playing. Because to be honest, when you reach home, it was Sesame Street, whichever cartoon come after. You head outside because, them go and watch the Bowl of Beautiful or whatever. Right before the news, go and big early. And after 8 o'clock, you get to watch a little MacGyver or whatever in your bed. I know nothing, I know YouTube, I know nothing. And nothing to go and watch the CI pattern, other than just, local people in the savannah and stuff like that. A man will come with a new trick or try, or it had a lot of good players at that, too. But at that age, I wouldn't have known anybody until, at like 9 and stuff, until started to know certain probably older fellows who you see around plenty in savannah and things. But I, as I come from old school, so we kind of stick to your partner.
Right.
Be 9 and hanging out with fellas who is 13 and 14 and now. That happening. It can be outside when the street light on and thing. At primary school level, like inside after that isn't that
Sure.
So it was really just a matter really having fun at that age.
Okay. So did you pass straight for St. Benedict's College?
Yeah, I actually did pass directly for St. Benedict's.
So was there a time period where you didn't play, or did you just go straight in playing all the way up?
Yeah, I was the captain of the under 14 team actually when I came in. So yeah, I had training and all that, and yeah. So
still playing at the attacking right wing position, or?
Yeah, I've played in midfield basically wherever. I think I was I may have been in the middle then, either there or could have been playing, right wing or up front. It all depends on, different days. Mr. Ali was primarily our coach at the time. And so.
Okay. He's actually coaching team?
I mean.
Okay. Now, when we had Elliot in our time, but Ali was around the team now.
Yeah. Elliot was a referee.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, he wasn't into coaching like that yet.
Right. Okay. Andres or
you go ahead.
No, you want to go ahead now. You go ahead because all they calling specific names and things. We can't comment on the Benedict's experience. We can't comment. We don't know.
So, in terms of how you matriculated through Benedicts, was there any particular year in which you say, I'm pretty good at this, I could continue doing it at the intercol level or continue to do it at a high level? Was there any year that stood out to you?
I can't say there was any specific year, right? We play under 14, 15, 16. I know I got to the national champion under 14. We actually played Mukurapo. We played Mukurapo in Mukurapo school. Them around the field.
Right.
Not 2-1, but that was under 14 national championship. And, at that time I realized, since coming from Point with RC School, Point Fortin, and playing with Coach and the Civic Center, we always win. And we had every game is a final, you must win. That was actually, painted in our locker room now. So I always had a very strong winning type of mentality. So matter the teammates, and the good thing about Benedicts, then when I just came in, we had more students and, it didn't have that many guys who was just coming in for actual football. You had the nucleus of guys playing together. So now you really had from PE, you remember? And, so Jan and Mr. Alexander's our PE teachers. Box, and we used to do. And he was, had British ties, so had some understanding of the game. And then, of course, John Stedman. So we had a real good type of base there in PE now. So when they go in and play on the 14 and stuff and you play together, it kind of helped. That's why we get that far, even without having all the, footballers, these specialists who coming in and, to win championships.
The transfers,
yeah.
So even at that stage of playing, right? Did you have like a destination in mind, or you was just going with the flow?
I really was just going with the flow, I really always like football. I like to win. So playing with Benedicts, it came with an added badge too, because it was like with a badge on and I get to go Benedicts. So I, like I said, passed for Benedicts, went there, and it was a different experience. But I never had in my mind like I'm gonna play football and from there I'm gonna do this and do that. It was just we're gonna play and see how well you do. But you gotta win though. So if you don't win, nobody don't even know who you are. You had to be able to get over the line. That was my thinking. I just wanted to play and win.
Okay.
Right.
And what was the memory that you treasure most from that era?
Winning still yet the only national title for Benedicts, 98. So my whole era playing, that would have been definitely the highlight to win that. So that was great. Breaking my hand.
And you were captain too, right?
No. The captain.
Not anymore. Okay.
No, so championship. That's another whole. I may not know about that, but that's another. We might get into that. So.
Yeah, talk about it now.
In 98, who was Arazi would have been the captain, I believe.
Okay.
I think Issa was still. I think either Issa or Silvio was the captain of the team when we actually won in 98. We played Princestown. So that was probably the highlight to win. That's where you're playing for everybody,
Yeah.
Everybody have argument of who and what.
Bragging rights in school and thing.
Yeah, I mean that's why you're doing it. The reason why you're playing the competition, it's at the end to lift the cup, you know. It's not just to play. That's why it is. So if you ask any player why you're playing, and he tell you, well, I just want to play. I mean, I don't even want my team. You know, I mean, we play and we play for Benedict, so we have to win.
I'm sounding toxic like Cristiano, but
this is toxic. You want to driven.
So at any point there, did you end up having like aspirations to play national team and something like that?
I mean, the national team is something that always is another thing, you know, for pride, right? And stuff you want to do. To be honest, I never had that much ambition because maybe I never thought I would, you know, even be considered now. So I really study it like that. And, you know, we from deep south, we don't really have that exposure. You know, if I was playing somewhere up to the west or the east or somewhere in the north all the time, maybe it would have been more and more subconscious now. But my dad and they never really was big into football like that. Like I said, it was more, you know, like my uncle and their side, they played heavy. And they, you know, so they would have been that influence to try to play national. But from my household, it was books now, and then play football.
Yeah, books. Yeah.
They had any books now. So I never really thought about I want to go and play football, big national team. It was just like, hey, I want to play football, but you know, hey, if I go to a team, well, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
you know. Kind of like FPL, let's play. But you know what I do well. You know?
Right.
All right.
So
okay.
I was following up on you, and I saw that is it true that you went NAPS eventually?
Yeah, I went to NAPS.
All right. What was that? Let me hear that.
That was one of the things I was just, well, John Stetman, one of the main reasons why I went to NAPS, so to get everything out of the, you know, that's just the thing about it. He was the coach. He been asked me to come to NAPS since Form 3 for various reasons. And, you know, he's like, you know, he would call me, he's called me Gia, and Mr. Ali would call me Zia. And he was like, Gia is always calling me Gia and it's Dia. Anyways, you know, so he would be like, yeah, why you come and play friggin' NAPS, but yeah, you're wasting time. I don't know what they're talking about it. You know, he always find like, you know, they always being utilized properly or, you know, being overlooked. Yeah, true Benedicts man. See, John is a true Benedicts man, right? John, he's like, you know, the epitome of what Benedicts is about now, from the rhythm section to the energy to the type of football we play. So, you know, even the atmosphere of the commons, knowing what, you know, what to do. He knows, you know, certain times when he had to, you know, do certain things in a game, and, you know, just having it know all and then being true, you know, to St. Benedict. So I had that now. That's the thing. That is one thing I actually treasure the most. So to pass for Benedict, that's one of the few men on the team. I think I was probably the only guy on the team that actually passed for Benedict. Everybody else was transfers. And, you know, that was actually made by the principal, would have been Declan Singh at the time. You know, he said that in order to be the captain of the team, you need to be, at least you have to be in sixth form. So I was the only guy that passed and was in sixth form. And, you know, due to whatever circumstances, wasn't even given a place on the team after winning before. And I said, you know what, I was just, there's a lot I've been actually dealing with in Benedicts for years, and I just eventually said, you know, let me go to NAPS, because Jan and this I'd already kind of had lined up a scholarship. So I was like, if I go and play one more time, let's go and play for, you know, go and play with Jan, and, you know, at least I feel like, you know, appreciated, and, you know, given out a fair chance to go and play and try to do what I want to do, which is have fun on the field and win. So that is one of the main reasons I went to NAPS. I felt like, you know, a lot of people would be vexed with me, but I was real, you know, I was brokenhearted. I was tough, because Benedicts really kind of lost its identity now. To be real honest, Southern Benedicts, man, is hard, because literally you're on a team and nobody passed through school. So you come into, it's a different, not necessarily a bad thing. Look at the clubs. It have guys who grew up at Liverpool, grew up at Chelsea, grew up at City, and
yeah.
you bring in Ronaldo, you bring in, Van der Beek, you bring in Sancho, you bring in this one, bring in that one. And have guys around who that kind of will just make them lose that, that
Focus.
any kind of zeal to want to even try to play. And that's part of wanting to go to school and you want to play. But when they have that kind of competition, it could kind of lose where remember, I heard the Benedicts and Naparima College. Benedicts, Spurs, and Naps was the prestigious schools you want to go to also from an academic standpoint. So you have to keep a certain level. But that also gives an identity to your team, the way your team will move and operate, the way a student body will operate, what you're trying to put out there. All that was important now to me because that's what we learned from coming in there, Form 1, Form 2, being around, Father Clark and different teachers. You learn, understand the DNA of the school now. Rather than you come in, you could play, nobody not questioning that, but you start to lose now that essence of what Benedict was. So when I felt like I was completely lost for me, I said, well, hey, then I'll just be a transfer. I'll just go to another team. Like y'all and just, let's play and let's just try to see what happens. So I made a decision. Salah was, he pleaded with me up to the end. They even fought it. That wasn't in the news. That was big. That was people. There was a protest. I don't know. It was they filed a complaint to have me not registered, and there was a lot to get me on to actually play for Naps.
But but it wasn't playing in Benedicts though. So how they go fight the move? Right, making no sense.
That was like a Figo to Real kind of moment then.
Nah, this sounded more like Lukaku, boy. Because they're not even playing him anyway, say it the wrong way. Next way.
Lukaku, nah.
Nah, the next way.
That's hard to hear. That's hard to hear. I thought it makes sense now because just hearing bits and pieces and those things floating above your head at that age. Cause I came into the school in 99, so just hearing bits and pieces and it's hard to hear what really happened.
I hear tell so much stories when we talk to fellows who are very talented and thing in Trinidad, on the field or not. There's just so much bacchanal thing always about some kind of thing that is getting in the way of, look, this guy is talented at this thing. Why isn't he being able to fulfill or fully express that thing? That, it's just always some bacchanal scene. But all right, but then, so next in your story, did I see correctly that you actually played in the US too, right?
Yeah, I went to college. Like I said, I came and got me actually a scholarship to Jacksonville University.
Academic or football?
Football.
Okay.
Yeah. Football.
Wait, that means you're skipping a step then. So what happened when you went Naps? How was that time? Was it 1 season, 2 seasons? 1 season?
1 season. So I actually got to Naps the second half of the South League, right? So we play first half and then second half, and then they go into intercol, basically, right? So we did pretty good actually. It took a while to get fit and to get into the rhythm of the team, and that went actually pretty well. We won the National Intercol Championship that year. I was actually voted the midfielder that year for best midfielder in Trinidad, and was called the next day to the national team, my national team coach, directly. So that went really well going to Naps with playing with Steady. Really stood out, and to win was real. As the next thing to follow through, we had a lot of just great camaraderie, and it was a great team all together. So that went really well. That went really, really well, I would say.
So one thing, just to see if I could match the timeline. What's his name? Joel Bailey. Was he in that team with you?
No, Joel would have already left.
Left already. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, Joel was actually on one of your podcasts. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. So he told us. I think was it 98 where he was player?
98 was when they were on. Yeah. Right. So you get pulled in about 99 somewhere there.
Okay.
So Joel and they would have lost to us in the quarterfinal, I believe, in the park in 98. We won the Intercol in 98.
Right.
And Joe did win player of the year. He did top score in the year.
Right, right.
As a player, but he didn't win. They lost to us actually. That's when they come on the buy me later and they realize it was real damage. It was real damage that day too. That day was a lot of damage, and Benedicts came out victorious. So, Joel, but yeah, he left. On that team would have been more, Jace Peters, Kim Lewis, Atiba McKnight, RP, Tiba, Simon, we Pompey,
right,
was Shy was keeping David Tile. You guys gonna make Forbes.
Right, yeah.
Brenton Dillion. Brenton Dillion was there. I probably forget him, maybe one or two people.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't rock your brain.
We go fight you. They might, but we won't.
Yeah, but yeah, we had our Roger Anthony.
Roger came down and went to Naps.
Yeah, Roger could play with us. Roger, we won that year too. We had a proper
squad.
I didn't know Roger went to Naps.
Yeah,
cool.
Roger won.
This was the first Galacticos.
Well, the year before that, Naps won everything in '99. Yeah. That's when Naps took
every single thing.
Yeah, but you could have seen that coming though.
Right? Yeah.
If you played against them and you watch the program and what John was building, you could have seen them coming down. That year when Joel lost us in '98, you could have seen, this is gonna be a problem next year now.
Right.
Not right now.
That's cool. Roger Anthony, the skipper under 17, so you should look up to him a lot.
Yeah.
So you fill in the gap here, Andre.
Yeah. So back ahead now.
Back to scholarship, yeah.
So which university you say it was again?
Jacksonville University. That's in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
Is that an HBCU?
No. That's
PWI.
I actually transferred from there and went to HBCU.
Okay.
University of the District of Columbia.
Okay.
So me and say you went to HBCU in South Carolina now. So we know how the culture shock is going.
Hey, I don't love HBCUs, boy.
But I love it though. All right, so you came up on a football scholarship. How was the transition from championship winning team to doing the US soccer, college soccer?
It was good, but I had a good freshman year actually. Got picked on the all freshman team. I did miss a penalty though that kind of not make us win the conference. So that was the low point of that. But
you didn't try no Panenka, did you?
Nah,
there was no chippers.
Nah, it's just a bad penalty. It was a good year outside of that. That just is a memory that just sticking in my mind.
Sure.
I saw Basio as worse than I would ever have, but listen to PK, a critical PK could mess with your brain. But overall, that was a good start. I played 1 year there and actually moved, and I went and played in DC for UDC, and that was, to me, the best team I ever played with, ever. I had players on my team. We actually was in the same conference with Mr. Bailey and with my brother. Move up. So it was Division 2, but the level of players was higher than the level of the program, right? So the program in Florida is top notch. Like I was fortunate enough to train with the US under 19s. I was then.
Wow.
19s under 20s. That would have been. I'm trying to remember the names of some of them guys. Eddie Johnson and a bunch of US internationals now. We get to play against them and stuff like that because our coach at the time was actually on the pool of coaches for the US national and the youth system now. So we had a real good program. You know what I mean? Like we practicing there in the US facility. You have the whole field surrounded by coaches with clipboards, coming and talk to you, giving you directions and what
Wow.
they see and all that stuff. So, but when I came to DC, the level of players was just like out of this world. Like, them fellas and them was real good. I remember playing Joel and I didn't. I was red shooting that year, and I remember playing them, and I think they were up 2-0 or something, and they end up losing 6 or 8. Like the team, we had some guys from different parts of Africa, and they all grew up. Like Salif was, from France, but from Senegal. Then you have Amadou from Mali. You had oh my gosh, Oche from Nigeria. I mean, that guy, DC United he was calling. I was trying to get him so bad, but he didn't have this, ducks in a row. But that guy was sick. I talk about real players. Like iron shot, like iron all, like wow, like I mean, real play now. So, and it's college level, so I'm real happy. I can't wait to come on. And Joel, I'm getting licks. So it's like, whoa, I can't wait for next year. And next year did come, and I had real good games and good memories with that team. But I ain't gonna lie, but we played under some severe conditions because our program wasn't the best, like noted, but we did the best with what we had. And so
what's that division? Is that MIAC? Is that all same thing now?
We was playing Division 2.
Division 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that above MIAC? Is that above MIAC? Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
NCAA.
Okay.
Yeah. D1, D2.
D1 and then
Then NAIA, I believe.
Nobody was playing in all your bum MIAC Liga, man.
Oh, yeah, that's you too. What are you talking about? You were in the same school.
Oh, you playing in all the SCSC MIAC League, dog. Yeah, MIAC was a lower division of school.
A couple levels lower. Okay.
Well, we used to play Citadel and school. We didn't have a boys team. We had a girls team.
Yeah.
So after you read shirt here, after you played and things like that, did you see anything going further? Did you plan to go further and playing football?
Yeah, actually, I started to train. At that time, at college level, I'd make up my mind like, hey, if somebody come on, they like what they see, hopefully. But I'd already kind of also, in some ways, resigned to the fact that this wasn't the best place to be now. If you wanted to be somewhere to play football, you had to go somewhere in Europe now. So I kind of had to just, play to the best of my ability here and, see what the cards deal. But at the same time, kind of like, wait, boy, I wish I could have gone,
Yeah.
But here it was, started to train harder in terms of weight room and stamina and stuff like that. Yeah, I started to push and try to see where things would have gone. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. It takes a lot of work to be a professional athlete. It takes a lot of time, effort, discipline. From a diet perspective, your sleeping, pattern, everything.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference. So without having good information, we're
smiling because previous guests talk about it, boy. Like real man talk about it.
It's just Akil talking.
It's always Akil. Akil is the first man he's thinking about always. Akil the Freitas, just talking about the man feel beeped us how much times? Right?
Million times.
It's stressful. So did you end up getting into like MLS or anything like that?
No, boy, I was unfortunate to not be that, looked at, I would say. But nah, that was real tough back then too. You had to be, the guys back then, they could count them on your hand, but there was like extra super special players now.
Yeah.
Still, you had Evan Wise was, playing. They were the guys back then. I would have mentioned El Cup.
Yeah.
Still wrong there, breaking legs.
Boy?
I played, I just played we used to play in a PDL league during the summertime for
League, yeah.
Yeah, Chesapeake actually played for Lincoln Phillips' team, which was a real honor to play for that team. I got called in to go and train with DC United actually, off of playing with that team. And that was real cool too. You know, Switchcoff and they were actually playing for DC then, and
Yeah.
Nelson and them. So get to be on the same pitch with them, thought it was cool. But to say I took off then, boy, I had so much other things going on at that time. I'd already got married, had a kid, and still trying to live life. And you know, as you had to be your own everything. You know, you had to be your own trainer, and you had to motivate yourself. You had to, you don't have, you know, what other folks may have now. So you do the best that you can. But you know, it would have been great. You know. At the end of the day, you know, everything that meant for you is always meant for you, you know. So, but you know, the little bit that I did play, I was happy to play. It was cool, and you know, I give thanks for that.
Dog, you came close. You came closer than plenty, man. Like so,
plenty people.
So like
when I came 8 million plus.
When I came to the US and something like that, I didn't take football. I didn't think I had any chance of playing football in Trinidad. Right, so at the close, what I do, I train with second 11 once, right, in one half of a year, and then when I come up here and think now playing more and thing with these fellows and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, what could it be like in an alternative universe actually even trying to get close now? Because you're watching some men who, I ain't gonna lie to you, all right, this is the ego talking now. So like, that men who come sweat. Who I play in PDL, I in this league and thing, and I like, but dog, I better than you. I better than you, right? So it's just real fascinating always just hearing stories of men who actually came close, was actually doing the things, actually get scouted, actually. So did you ever get scouted where you had to come trials and things like that?
Yes and no. I mean, in trials, in terms of like, I had an opportunity to actually go to Italy, to Perugia. I think Silvio Span actually.
Yeah, Silvio was all there.
Yeah, Mr. John Williams actually had proposed that to me, but that was in conflict with me going to college.
Yeah.
So my parents and they wasn't really, that was after the championship with Naps in the house. But I was playing pretty good at that time, and so I guess he wanted to give me the opportunity, and I just, chose to go to school. Maybe I made a different decision if it was up to me and me only. But, the school first, like I say, my household are coming.
Yeah, the culture,
right? Hey, I think that's every training household. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, do your books.
4-year scholarship, that paid for. So what you tell them about going and try, and then they come and hurt, and you can't go and play, and so you know what I mean. So yes, mommy, and let me move on. I'm thankful and glad I had this scholarship. But after playing for UDC, a couple of coaches that was coaching like local clubs did reach out to me to come and play. So I did play for Crystal Palace USA and also for Real Maryland, which was
I think that's the one I saw online.
Spanish coach actually was the guy there first who brought me in, and then a Brazilian coach took over, and they both actually liked me a lot, but the team doesn't have the money, but. And that's the thing, a lot of guys, they want to go, but they don't have the money. Just like, as I was talking about, the players realize how much it takes to be a player. It's the same thing with management. It takes a lot to make sure your players are well taken care of and you get the best out of them, and all of that goes hand in hand. So they were just trying to, that was their first season. That was the first season. And even Crystal Palace, they couldn't afford to really pay. Everybody, even the guys that on the team, trust me, they're not making that much money at all. You know what I mean? They're better off. They give them somewhere to stay. Have a little pocket change. You can move around wherever, but to say you're gonna plan a future or do some of that stuff at that level, no. Even in the MLS, they were just starting to and starting to pay guys more and stuff. And then the MLS, you could say, all right, I could take care of my family, but you gotta understand there's a lot of
to get there.
Yeah, there's a lot it takes to get there. So that pretty much was the only two places I would really say went to try and play, other than training with DC.
All right. So you into any coaching or anything like that?
Yeah.
Nah, but I used to do it a little bit,
Yeah.
but no, not really.
Okay. Enough for you. Or it may happen one day.
I used to, like I said, I did it before. It's something I actually like to do.
Right.
And I don't know, you never know. Maybe, with the right, circumstances.
Yeah.
Why not, if you could do something. I always for giving back. So if I could find a way to help children or young men, understand the game better, I wouldn't mind helping. Joel and my brother has their coaching school. That's what does there, but it's a different temperament to deal with that and to delegate time and stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
I applaud those guys, but I don't know if I can do that right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, too much FPL though. FPL is
He took an FPL coach.
FPL is my that's the length of my coaching right now.
Yeah, FPL coach.
That's cool. See, cool vibe. Favorite player right now?
You have to think I meditate on this.
Favorite player right now?
Right now.
Tough one for real, but probably more Salah.
Okay.
I was expecting that. I don't know why.
I'm now gonna say if this man say something else, I'll as a Liverpool man, I'll get vexed.
Liverpool man. If you say Trent.
If you say something else, yeah. If you say Trent, I can believe that. I can believe that.
All right.
From a finishing for Liverpool, most definitely, I would say, Salah. That's the thing that I see Salah do, but because the team are back in, so when you do it for my team, make it even better.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Who's the most underrated player on Liverpool? Underrated
player on Liverpool, I would think today, right now, and I say this for a while, but Matip.
Yeah.
Oh,
good choice.
Yeah, that's a fair pick.
Yeah, Matip. I like Matip from the time he came. I remember when he came, because I was real follow Liverpool. Like that. I don't know anything I don't know. And I watched when he came and the price he came for, and I was like, all right, let's see. And I was like, it's my chance, but it's more like a decent now. Lenge is a different type of player, and he's very composed when you watch him. His passing range out of the back. For a while now, I see this man could pass the football. This man could play.
He's carried the most, right? He's carried more than Virgil for sure. He's been running up.
Yeah, more than anybody. They say that about Harry Maguire. He's way better than Harry Maguire.
Graduating, man.
Yes, he is. He's a way better.
Yes.
Hey,
you asking me to defend Harry Maguire?
We agree. Everybody on this panel agree with you, but
you asking me to defend Harry Maguire?
This is a man you fan,
paperweight.
This is a man you fan that saying he
most expensive fridge ever, boy.
No, listen to me. Right?
So back to the. Sorry, not to cut you off, but
I
came up with Salah if to pay Salah the 400,000 right now.
Yeah.
Guys over there at Manchester United making more money than me. I'm playing in an era where I am better than you.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. So why you earning more than me, sir? Why?
Yeah, right.
That's a great question.
I say, in some ways, when you look at Matip, they might be underrated because they're not in the limelight. They're not being talked about. He's not England captain.
Not English, yes.
He's not English, so he's not getting the same level of,
Great point.
That guy,
latitude.
That guy
to do whatever.
Is a top player. So I would think he's probably the most underrated player.
Great pick. All right. We could start to wrap it up.
Give me a specific thing that you'll always treasure, like a moment, not a season or one moment that you treasure the most.
And your whole football career.
Hey, boy, that's real hard.
See, what's wrong with
You're still on brand.
Never thought about
still it. So, all right.
Let me do the opposite first.
he did mention kind of the opposite there, but I want him to confirm that first. The lowest or the worst moment in your footballing career.
I'm definitely missing that penalty.
Right.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
If I score a penalty for Dolphins, we'll have already confronted. I've been a whole different headline, everything that to be fresh.
Right.
So that I would say that would be my lowest. If I think my best memory would be winning that identical final again. You know, I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, because he did say that.
That game, but I would think I was probably, if not the most dangerous player on the day of that game. I played, you know, you play your heart up, you're not playing with 10 men. So we were playing with 10 against 11 for a while, and Mukrap was a very formidable opponent, and they had a big, forget the goalkeeper name. I think he won Player of the Year that year too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how much not alone. Imagine that they'll get
a goalkeeper.
One goalkeeper before they get a start play.
So Adi doesn't like to hear that bias talking there. That's nothing.
I realize that it probably don't have enough counsellors, and so that's why all the carrying that grudge.
It's true.
It just whatever. All right, so no problem. I understand. I am sensitive to how you feel, and I understand your.
You acknowledge it then?
I acknowledge it, right? Right? It have nothing that more bias than Southman for Southman. It have nothing more, right? It have nothing like that. Right? So I don't argue. Right? Who was the best player you ever played against?
Best player ever played against?
Anyway, you say if we play with them, because I know that could cause rap. But you play against?
Talking about in secondary school football?
Anyway.
Wherever. Anyway. A man that you're just like, gosh, boy, to play this man, boy. Hey, boy, this man give me pressure. Who you think get the most headache playing against them?
Good question, boy. I think... You
didn't really study it because you were just on your own vibes.
No. Well, you see, when playing, I had to go to Benedicts. Why? Because...
Yeah, no problem, no.
In 14, 15, you'll be meeting familiar, you know? The
guys, nothing wrong with that.
The championship level, I would say, you know, who is the guy with the most, would definitely be Colin Samuel, boy. Colin Samuel for me, that was
he was always fast, too.
Friend.
That was a great answer.
He was always real fast, though.
Well, he had to score one, or he had to pass.
Yeah. He was always real fast, boy.
He go and play defense now. He go and play.
He go and play defense.
Go and play somewhere, and you literally do not have a chance because he is your age and he's about 3 times your size.
Right, John.
Like fish.
Twice. He's like a Dama Traore playing.
That man 45 by me, professional.
Yeah, that guy.
You feel like that video the other day where they was trying to subdue the man? That is our next example of what could happen with the right there, dog. Strong.
Great answer, boy. I will ask him. The best player you ever play with.
Yeah, all the Southman could get in that back now. We're going to say I cause it. All the Southman could have that back now.
Best player I ever play with, just be on the same or in a competitive way.
Or any team you ever play with, the best player ever
play. If we played, you know, like a tournament team, and you know, in states, you have to play with a couple real good players.
Yeah, I was trying to keep everything civilized and peaceful. Right? I didn't ask that question for a reason because I realized Zama is one love, right?
The best. All right, I'll break it down.
Who caused this bacchanal here? Anything? Just make sure I remember that is your fellow Southman who caused this, right? Thank you. Continue, sir.
The best Trini. And the best person non-Trini you ever played with.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it it can be on a competitive team or
anyway, I ain't gonna shackle you. Anybody you think of, we taking the answer.
Nah, well, if you give him the shackle as a out, when somebody come back to So somebody hear it and praise them. You can say, well, now I was talking about.
Yeah, no shackles.
Oh Lord, yeah.
On MLK Day, no shackles.
That's a real tough
200.
a real tough question because the reason why that's important because certain players on your team pull you out now.
Who's saying why you like so much of Bacchanal?
How like Bacchanal?
That is Bacchanal. Dear, is there any player that you could remember like being a fanboy over, like on the field?
Like playing against?
Yeah, against or playing with, like like ooh, but I looking forward to meeting up with this person. You ever experienced that?
Yeah, but a lot of them guys would have been older than
Like
me.
local legends.
That I ain't get to play with, But yeah, it have a number of names I could start calling. I mean,
Give me names, man.
Well, mainly guys from Point, right? So
Yeah, I know the South Londoners go down. I know it is. I work Point Fortin. I work Point Fortin since 2013.
Yeah, but
I know it.
It's real hard to call, boy. But I mean, from starting to play when they get older and you're watching certain guys play ahead of you, Kester Caldwell was a guy I really, like to watch play. You guys, I don't know if you guys know him, Russell Pope. He's a real good player to play with.
Only one man will be saying this, really. Yeah? I'll go try and see if I can remember anybody.
Is Pope? Wait, Russell Pope.
You guys may not know Russell Pope, but he's an older guy.
Is Pope Ants?
Pope and Ants, right?
Okay.
So Sherman Phillips. Pope is
Phillips,
Russell Pope and Sherman Ants Phillips. That's probably some of the best, in terms of out and out team play. You see White and Andy Cole play. That's how them play. They have a kind of, there's ones that
Telepathic.
Yeah, one of the best dribblers, which is Popey I probably ever seen, and then Ants is a fast, nifty player that could score with both feet and make the right runs and help and support. So them fellas is guys that grew up, watching and like, wow, you can't think they're doing. No, Renal Carrington is another big player.
Right,
yeah.
Came back from the States and starting to watch him play. I was like, wait, boy, man, what the hell is this?
Against somebody didn't know.
Ivan Sampson is another one. I didn't get to see him play. Then he came back with Civic. At that time, Civic was bringing back a bunch of players and see a couple players play. I was just like, wow. Anderson Belfort for Benedicts. Jason Sweet is another player that I sort of enjoy watching play a lot too. But it's certain guys I play with now just on tournament. From not playing competitive to that's none of them is the best. Like Ricardo Ricky Allion is just like skillful players I ever see play football. Real top of the line players. Plus some of the players I play with right there in Naps. Israel was top players. Michael's a very good player. Fabian's a very good player. Jace Peters was a top player. Benedict a top player. Silvio was a top player, Kendall Davis, Thomas, all them fellas is guys that play and, did very well. My brother was another guy that, he was just silent there, but would score critical goals and, had a good left foot there. Yeah. So he played with plenty top players any day now,
Any given day,
turn up and do something, but as our players, I used to really enjoy watching too when I used to go watch Benedicts play, like Malik and them teams, like Cole and Jamat is probably arguably my favorite.
I think so I didn't like
Hardest.
Yeah. So
Hardest could have passed football throughout the spokes and tennis racket though, I swear.
Nah, boy, I watch play and it was like, that's really, really, really watch him and, enjoy watching him play now. There's one guy that gives a lot of trouble when you watch him play. It's like, the freak, boy. All right, so we gotta do this and make sure, and, mark hardest. So make sure, guys, and you kind respect, you pay them kind of players now. There's a lot of guys who play with up north. Some guys I wouldn't remember everybody's name, but he's one name definitely remember, Carlos Edwards. Remember Carlos?
Yes, Carlos. Smooth.
We lost to Carlos in the final. As in '97, we lost to St. Anthony's. So we played St. Anthony's. I actually played in the final in 97 and 98.
Wow.
And 99 is when, like I said, Benedicts did whatever they wanted to do and pick up a squad, and I left and went to NAP. So I actually played 4 years, 97, 98, and 2000 finals. So I won 2 out of 3 intercal finals. So in 97, we lost to Carlos Edwards and main man there, Sean Cooper. Another good striker. They had a very good team overall. So they had a very, very good team. Put them in the oval. Whole train I was watching that game. They win 2-1. Actually came on and won a penalty in that game and scored that penalty. So that's another very memorable game in my, if you want to think about it, the 97 final that we lost.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most memorable games. We're all crying that game because, like I said, Benedict to the heart. Now we went our whole season without losing. Lost that game here.
Are you real excited to see these games, boy?
Yeah, that game was amazing.
Our culture is, boy, we really true. We are a lot in terms of keeping them things for posterity. You know?
Yeah. I remember giving Ruskin some video tapes to film some games to me some years and never got it. I mean, I don't know. But these are things we should have archived and, even if for us, they should have it and be able to show and have, keep that vibes now. But sometimes we just think down the road, maybe.
They're probably in our box, It's our tapes in our box somewhere, right now.
For real, a lot of the footage, that 2 instances when that is highlight that lost real footage or local, like, not just sports, but like cultural stuff. You see, 1990 coup, and when they shut down TTT the first time, right? Real men just didn't know where anything went in certain instances, right? Even like Errol Fabian was saying that he happened to get some stuff, and that was just by chance. Even it wasn't like deliberately put aside for posterity. So.
Right.
Can I get back that?
Anyway, guys, Dia, bro, this was a great episode. I appreciate you coming on. We hope you enjoy it. From FPL to the history of football in Trinidad and Tobago. One of the more wide-ranging episodes. One of the great ones.
Sure.
We want
Let me ask this question, though.
So they are trying to rap.
Let me ask that question now. Let me just ask that question.
I
know you're tired. I just asking one question. Right? You planning on taking any hits next week?
So, my team actually set up for 6 game weeks right now. Our plan and kind of.
Might have some changes coming. That's some double game week could be coming next week.
We're only playing 5 games in a week.
Yeah, I know it has some coming. Guys, I kind of setting up my team.
This one really have a good set and forget kind of vibes and.
Yeah, so my team set up to be alright for the next 6 weeks. But that 2 hits I take there, it's supposed to last me for. I say that's what I'm gonna do. But I will make changes, but no more hits. All right now.
No, so what I was gonna say was say make sure you send them a link to your site so you know who not
to pick. Not to pick. Yeah, please.
Show him who you transfer. Right? You transfer in the last 2 weeks. So
in the event anything goes wrong, you see that one day from point Fortin there? This one here? Yeah, yeah, most likely that is a suspect, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, blue soap, cookie broom, them kind of things. Try it.
No, I ain't go on the beach, man. I go for a beach, man.
Yeah. Watch, man. Yo. 5:30.
Yeah.
Right. So leave home about 4:30.
Right.
And park up right by the water there, right?
Yeah.
You could start before then because, I mean...
I'm purifying myself in the cleansing water.
Yeah, soak, right? Soak. Take some rough skin lemon, rub it on the arm, put on behind the neck and them kind of thing, right? Let your wife beat you. I'll put you hit you some hard.
All right, so I did. See, so this is
something.
Sandices,
Because
right?
that's not normal, boy.
Yeah,
That's not normal.
we thank you for coming on. We hope you had a good time. We hope everybody enjoyed this show. Have a good night.
Sure.
Yeah, dear. Thanks again, bro. Right?
Thanks, bro.
Blessings. And watch me. I want you to be first in the world.
Yes,
Regardless
I like that one.
Right?
I like that one. I like that
first in the
one.
world. Now, let me go and check and see who first there. We'll say, here what you could do. We'll say, here what you could do. Go and check the man who first in the world and pick each side. Right? And there, you just avoid them, man. Right?
Hey, Dia, don't clap for that. Don't clap for that, please.
We'll say, you have to do it for love for country.
Keep the point by your star boy. Don't study this guy.
Right? Help out your fellow point man now.
Hopefully everything go well, but it's a long way to go.
It's a long way, but you're in a good space. Keep it up.
Yeah,
man.
Only best.
Let me go and find this man first and see if I can help right him.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.